Welcome to our new series of the Herbal Spot. We're happy to bring series 2 to our audience. And this series will definitely have a Caribbean flavor. We know that Barbados is the most easterly of the islands in the Caribbean. And unfortunately, we don't know enough about our neighboring islands, especially those to the north of the archipelago. So we're happy to bring this series to you where we chat with our friends and our colleagues living in the islands and working collectively to demonstrate the value of local plant biodiversity by their actions, by their activism, by their lifestyles, by their business, and also by research. Today, our special guest is Martha Hanna Smith from the Bahamas, and we anticipate to find out a lot more than we currently know about the Bahamas. So let me welcome Martha. Welcome, Martha.
Thank you, Dr. Peters, for having me.
Great, super. So,
Okay.
yes. So, like I said, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and especially so because you are our first Caribbean member of the Biocultural Education and Research Program. And like I said, we are near and yet so far. And often what we hear about the Bahamas is linked to the passage of tropical weather systems. And we know you had a pretty intense experience recently. We do know that the Bahamas is really a collective of 700 islands, with 30 of them being inhabited. So could you give us a little more perspective on the dynamics of this collection of islands and describe for us how is life in the Bahamas and does it reflect Caribbean living as we expect it to?
Okay, yes, like you said, 700 islands. Of course, we have keys as well, and some of them are not, of course, people are not living on them. So, of course, we go and we search out these islands, and there are many of those that we call family of islands. Family of islands, they are the ones that are not accessible as we would like for them to be. Of course, we have to travel to these islands by boats. Mm-hmm. And of course, we travel by plane. Some of them, they do not have any flights, no flights at all. So some of them, of course, they are rural, really, really rural, right? In terms of, let's say, what they can get on these islands, okay? They are really, really remote. So we have Nassau being the city. And of course, we have Andros Island. That one's the largest island. Then we have Grand Bahama. Some people say Freeport. These are the larger ones. Okay, the islands where I am from, the island is Auckland's Island, and of course, that one is to the southeast and far away. So if I was to take a plane to go there, I would spend 1 hour. Well, it used to be 2 hours. Now things are better. So we do 1 hour. And if I was to take a boat there, that boat will take me 2 nights on the sea. Well, long ago, it took us 2 weeks. So we are now fortunate to be able to have a shorter journey.
Yes, well, we know that things change and we always hope they change for the better. So could you tell us then a bit about the culture as it relates to plants? I know, Martha, that you published a book on bush medicine in Bahamian folk tradition. So I imagine we have to consider you somewhat of an expert in that area on the Bahamas. So could you tell us a little more about what inspired you to publish your book, and how did you arrive at the content you captured in the book?
Okay. I grew up in Auckland, and of course, where my home was surrounded by plants. And of course, I would say medicinal plants. Well, I knew nothing about cocoa, Ovaltine, Lipton tea, and the like.
Mm-hmm.
So every day I had bush tea, every day.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, my father, he had all of his children to take the aloe. Oh my, you know how bitter that is. Sometimes what we did, we decided not to dip the aloe in the cup with the hot water. Mm-hmm. But we continued frowning as though we had the aloe in there because it's so bitter, you know.
Okay.
But we drank it sometimes. It was really good for us, right? And then we had other plants around like fever grass. Most people say lemongrass, right?
Yes.
Lemongrass. And that one is so good for the fever. And that's why it's called fever grass, as the name suggests, right? For the fever. And now people are saying that it is good for this COVID-19. So in the Bahamas, they are drinking, sometimes 3 cups a day.
Wow.
3 cups a day. So, yes. So I went to the doctor the other day. Sometimes I check, and he told me, you talk about the varicose veins. He said, I have one of your books, and I read about the fever grass. Man, take more of that. I say, take it every day with ginger. Every day I have it, you know. Yes, so we trying the plants that were around. They were free. They're still free. Okay, so we don't have to buy them. So why go out and search for, Lipton tea and the like? Okay, and we had plants like sweet Margaret. I don't know if you know that one.
Not
sweet
by
Margaret.
not by name, Martha. Do you have the scientific name?
Right. I don't have that one here with me, the sweet Margaret.
Okay.
I have some dried ones because I use the dried ones like for soaps and right.
So what do you use that for?
Those. The sweet Margaret. It's really for pain, bodily pain, but it's really a tasty tea. Some people they don't have pain, but of course they want a tasty tea, and it smells good when it's brewing. Oh, it smells very, very good.
Okay,
very nice. Yes. Of course, you know we say pear leaves. You probably say avocado.
Yes.
Some people say avocado. So that then it makes a beautiful tea, right? And of course, what we did not brew it for too long, except we wanted to it to heal for healing purposes. But just for tea, we did it mild, okay? And then we had other plants like the soursop. We still have them, soursop. Of course, for tea, but the cerasee. I've seen some cerasee tea in the food stores, but we drank that for, like if we had a cold or cough, we drank that, right? And then some people also, they drink it because they want to get rid of diabetes, right? Well, they say sugar and diabetes, right? So they boil that, along with the breadfruit leaf or leaves. So it depends on the brew they want to make, how much of it, right? And so, we have like geranium, different ones, very good for the cold, very, very good. So if we get a cut, for example, we know that we're going to use the thorn bush to wash that cut, okay? And then like I discussed the other day when you had the session, about the shepherd needle, right? People just cut that down and just throw it away. Okay. And like I told you, we use it for cooling of the blood. And then you said to me that, yes, you can see why you asked me, is it a succulent plant? And I said, yes. Right. So that one is used for the cooling of blood. Okay.
Great.
And we have many more like neem. Everybody know the neem. Everybody know the we have now, we use the moringa and we use that a lot. Very much. Also the
Okay.
fruits, people eat the seeds and yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's a great snapshot, Martha. And I see a lot of similarity in
Thank you.
of your tradition, because as I said, aloes is very important. Any Barbadian you ask about a plant of medicinal value, aloe is likely to come to the fore. It is used for general,
Right.
but it is also very popular for skin and hair care. Lemongrass or fever grass is also
yes
very well known here, but I do believe that it is more used for cooling tea purposes than for fever. But historically, yes, it was used for that purpose. I'm not sure about the sweet margaret.
Right.
It's very likely that we have another common name for it, and I will have to follow up on that one. But certainly the use of pear leaves and soursop, these are all things that we have in common. And this is really great to see that our tradition stretches or is shared in the North Islands. So that is really great. And I'm sure that our listeners will be happy to hear that. So I want to mention, as we had discussed previously, that our biennial symposium on plants and planting for the future is due next in 2023. Because of COVID, we had to have our second edition virtually, but we are hoping that, as we find more and more modalities to fight the impact of COVID, that we'll get back to normal activities and be able to have face-to-face sessions. And I'm just wondering, do you think that the Bahamas would be a good site for us to have our third edition?
By all means. I mean, we need to start making some preparation now. Start making preparation now.
Yeah,
because we can partner with the Ministry of Tourism and other, ministries. We can partner with them, and of course, we can organize things here.
Yes,
hotels and and meeting rooms and
Yes.
So that should not be any problem at all. We will welcome that.
Yes,
because I know in the past we had. Yes, I am. In the past, we had medicinal conference here, and we had people from Canada, Africa, all over the world. They came. At that time, I did a presentation as well. But it can happen.
Yes, certainly, because I'm seeing that we have a lot of synergy in what we're doing. And the nonprofit, though our initial focus is Barbados, we want to share with the other islands.
Yes.
I am so happy that you opted to become a member. And I think it would really be an amazing opportunity for us to launch our Caribbean outreach in the Bahamas. And this is something that we talk more about, as the time wanes on. We have time. We're ending 2021. But as you say, we have to begin to plan. And I hope that our listeners would, be interested in coming to the Bahamas, because I think it would be an amazing opportunity to learn more about our neighbors and to share in your bioculture. Now, as we speak, we know that it is around the time where families sort of get together and end the year by sharing and just being together. And we know that COVID is going to probably put a little spoke into that in terms of how many of us can gather. But I wonder, what are some of the traditions in the Bahamas that happen around this time?
Yes, of course we have usually have the Junkanoo, and of course people just love it. Tourists love it, right? You have Junkanoo Festival. They have parties. They have, I mean, all like the offices. Like for example, you have Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Works. These places they have their staff parties, so parties all over. Okay, now like you said, I don't know how much they can do of it now. I'm sure they're gonna do it, but of course they're gonna be cautious in doing so at this time.
Yes. Tell us a little more about Junkanoo. What is entailed in that, and is that a celebration of plant culture, food culture embedded within that
Culture,
festival?
yes. Culture. Okay, we have like food, we have drinks, and of course, at this time you have the different groups, right? Like we have like one family, you have like Barabbas and the tribe, the different groups, and of course they compete for prizes. Okay,
Okay.
that's a big
Yes.
thing. On we have Bay Street. You go on Bay Street and you just, I mean, and they are there until from 3 o'clock in the morning until it's light, 8 o'clock. Sometimes they are still there.
Yes.
So it's a big. It's a culture, one
Yeah.
of our major cultures.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, again, that's the Caribbean mood. We really do.
Oh yes. Oh
And
yes.
yes, how to have a festival and how really to
Like Trinidad, eh? Trinidad. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
What about Barbados? Do you have it in festivals?
Yeah. Well, not a designated festival around this time, but as I was describing, it focuses a lot on family and friendship. Yes. And yes,
Right. Definitely.
yes, food and beverages and baked goods and all of that
Right. Oh yes.
goes into yes, that
Yes.
festive mood. And I made a comment recently that I think that because of COVID and a number of people have lost family members, that getting together now is mean even so much more. And I think as damaging as COVID has been, it is likely to offer some sort of, you know, energizing of our people in terms of how we value each other and how we work together.
That's right.
Things, yeah, to solve some of the challenges that we do have. And we have seen that
Right.
the individuals and groups have responded to those
That's right. Yes.
needed help. And my hope is
Right.
that will continue.
Yes.
If we bring it back to plants
Definitely.
a bit here, like I said, aloe is, I think, the one plant that every Barbadian knows something of. And when I say
Oh yeah.
I'm not exaggerating, because I think that even the younger ones would happen to know something about aloe, because it's even used to prevent children from sucking on their thumbs, with the concern about maybe
Right. That's right.
yes, displacing of the features, the
Right.
yes, the roof of the mouth, etc. I think the other one that is also
Yes.
known and depended on is Cersei. But I wonder in the Bahamas then, I know that I'm asking you
Right.
an unfair question, saying that you are spread over all of the islands, but in your particular area, what is the single plant that you think Bahamians have the biggest confidence in terms of the tradition and the heritage associated with using that plant?
Oh yes. We look at the fever grass, right?
Okay.
Fever grass. Fever, and like you said, schooling. And I agree with you when you said the schooling.
Yes.
right? But people, whether they're sick or not, they tend to drink fever grass. Okay, especially now,
Mm.
everybody
Yes.
looking for fever grass because you
Okay.
go to the market, people are selling, they're selling fever grass.
Yes.
People are buying fever grass, like
Yes.
$3 just a piece of fever grass. So everybody wants that plant now, right? And so they're
Yes.
trying to plant them around homes so they can have them when they're ready for them. You know,
Oh, wow.
so fever
Yes.
grass is the one I would say. Yes.
Yes. This is very interesting.
Yes, people are looking for it now.
Yes. Yes.
Looking for that.
Yes, that's very interesting. The plant that I think has been emerging as useful in terms of persons resorting to that plant to help with the symptoms. I don't think that people are using that as a means of curing themselves or preventing COVID, but I think that persons are saying that this particular plant I will name has really helped with alleviating the symptoms associated with COVID. And this is what we call broad-leaved thyme.
But that's right. Yes.
That persons are, as far as Barbados,
Okay.
I think persons are talking more about broad-leaved thyme. And that happens to be a plant that they've done some actual research on. And I am hoping to
Okay.
publish a paper soon regarding the research that I've done, but that is more um, chemistry based, looking at what the plant produces, attempting to identify what the plant produces,
Yes.
and attempting then to see if it would indeed have any indication for the treatment of symptoms related to COVID. So I'm very excited to have that work published.
Okay.
Yes. So I am really happy,
Sounds good.
yes, to have this chat with you. And like I said, we're going to look at the possible opportunities associated with us having plants and planting for the future in 2023 in the Bahamas. And
Yeah.
hoping that our listeners would take this opportunity to get to know some more about the Bahamas by joining us there. And typically, we do have some very interesting presentations, and I'm looking forward to working with you. So I'm going to end the interview by asking if there's any special words you would like to leave for our Barbadian listeners.
Okay. I would like to say that I am working on another book, and this book, I just had a sort of little vision, like I should not just have this book with just plants. No, I don't want that. I want to be able to add like some beauty tips in this book,
Oh, yeah.
because when I look at it, I do, like, for example, who would have thought that you can do watermelon soup?
Yeah.
I know watermelon is cool. So then, of course, when you shower, you don't want to come out of the shower because, Lord, it feels so good. So it does the same thing for you externally that it would do internally, right?
Yes.
So then, of course, the avocado. I soap from avocado, of course. So I want to get these things in that book. Since I'm talking about plants, they are all plants, right? So of course they're byproducts of plants. So I am going to take that for this book, and I really enjoyed speaking with you. I'm happy that you invited me. Really happy, and I'm happy to be a part of this biodiversity group. I just love it. And I can't wait for you all to come to the Bahamas. Can't wait.
We are really excited.
I've been to Barbados and I love it. I really
Yes.
love it.
Yes, we're really excited,
Yeah.
Martha, as well. I see many opportunities for us to work together. And I'm looking forward to see
Definitely.
yes, if we can make this a reality. And we will look at it as time progresses and we see how the pandemic,
Yes,
is progressing as well. But I really am looking forward to this because I think it can,
that's right.
yes, really very useful as we work together. So thank you so much for taking your time, Martha. I know how busy you are, and we will be chatting later.
Thank you, Dr. Peters, for inviting me. I appreciate it. You have a good night.
You have a good evening as well.
Thank you.